Paddy Power stream all UK and Irish racing live on your mobile, tablet or PC. Unlike some other high street bookies, Paddy Power, you beauty!
Hello there, welcome along to the Racing Post Weekend Postcast. Cheltenham's been and gone, but don't worry about that. We are up for the battle. We've got Newbury and Kelso on ITV, a star-studded card in the desert at Meydan, featuring the world's second richest race now, isn't it? Because we've got the Pegasus. We will also be looking ahead to Sunday, where Irish turf flat season starts in Naas. I'm Bruce Millington, and I'm delighted to be joined by a panel of wise men indeed, comprising Graham Rodway of the Racing Post, making a welcome postcast return. It's Paul Keeley and Frank Hickey from Paddy Power, who is over in Ireland. And Frank, you're licking your wounds. We'll just have a quick pricey before we get stuck into the Saturday action on what kind of form you guys are in after Cheltenham. And Frank, I believe it's absolute nightmare for you, isn't it?
Oh, it's comparable to Sunderland in the Premiership, Bruce. Struggling for a winner at the moment. I'm putting it down to married life. Doesn't agree with the punting.
Blame the missus, mate. That's always the good tactic. What was the worst moment for you at Cheltenham?
The worst moment? Probably the fact that I was by far the shortest price of anyone in the office on Willoughby Court, but yet I smashed into Neon Wolf and hadn't to save from Willoughby Court. That was probably tough to take.
Dear.
That coupled with Single Farm Payment getting touched off in the handicap on the first day. I had a pretty big bet in him each way. Now, I didn't lose money in that, but it would have made up for the week.
Oh, well. G-Rod, did you have any joy at Cheltenham?
The first 2 days were hugely frustrating, kept getting seconds and thirds and seconds, and then it all turned on Thursday, Friday. He had a fantastic last couple of days, came out winning, and then seemed to have gone back to the seconds and thirds since. I can't seem to get one over the line since last Friday, which is very frustrating again, but I can't complain about Cheltenham, that's for sure.
What was your greatest moment?
Probably when Paul Townend rode the second of his winners on Friday.
Penhill?
On Penhill, yeah. I had a little theory going in on Friday that Willie might put Paul Townend up on 1 or 2 useful ones, and luckily he came up with a huge price double, so that was great.
Great. I was going to back Arctic Fire, and then I asked Tony O'Hare, I said, what did Willie say about Arctic Fire? He said, social runner. So I didn't back him. That was handy. Keels, how are you, mate? All good?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, well, yeah, mostly good. I mean, Cheltenham was amazing. Don't let anyone tell you that betting and punting don't mix. I was so drunk.
Betting and punting?
Betting
is punting.
Oh, sorry, betting and drinking don't mix. I was so pissed on Friday that I managed to put the wrong horse in the trifecta for the Martin Pipe, and it came second, and I had the first, third and fourth as well. $5,500 for a complete cock-up.
$5,500, an accident?
Yes, an accident. But
and then talking of accidents, which might swallow up most of that.
Yes, yeah, the missus had one in the car and wrote it off on Wednesday, so that's all the money gone. Back to square one.
Okie dokes, back to Newbury tomorrow. It's 4 races on ITV4. We'll start with the 150. It's the Be Wiser Insurance Handicap Steeplechase. We haven't got any betting because the Paddy Power compilers are still hung over from Cheltenham. So we'll get some tips and then we'll see what the prices are when the markets come up tomorrow. But it's pretty competitive stuff. This G-Rod 11 runners here in the Be Wiser Insurance Handicap. Who's going to cross the line in front?
Yeah, a lot of old favourites, aren't there? 10, 11-year-olds. But I'm more interested in an up-and-comer, Dawson City, who, well, he's been running well all season. Finishing third, second, finally got it right last time out when Canton absolutely bolted up. The ground is going to be a bit of an issue because all of his best is on soft and heavy ground, and it's going to be good to soft and drying at Newbury. But he did run okay earlier in the season behind the Beware the Bear at Ascot on decent conditions, and I've not pigeonholed him as a mudlark completely yet. I think that he might get away with it.
What do you think, Kills?
Yeah, I can see where he's coming from with Dawson City. I thought he was a professional loser, just kept finishing second, and I opposed him with something because he thrashed it out of sight last time. And he's obviously, he's got age on his side, but I mean, I still like Shot of Vodka. I think he's well handicapped now. He was third in the veterans race there that he won a year ago, but third to 2 very decent, ex-veterans, ex-decent handicappers in Just a Par with No Duffer, and I thought that was a good run. And he actually got dropped £1 for it. He does like Newbury, so I think he's got a big shout.
Kills was always going to go for one of the old ones.
Absolutely,
there, wasn't he?
That was the banker.
Wait until we get to Kelso.
Frank, who'd you like?
Funnily enough, I like Shot of Vodka as well. He ran reasonably well the last day. It looked like he was going to win, maybe come to 2 out. He was travelling really well, didn't really get home, but he's on the same mark that he won last year at the track. And he looks solid enough in a race where I didn't think too many were.
OK, you've got to love the Be Wiser marketing team, because the 150 was the Be Wiser Insurance Handicap Chase. The 225 is the Insure with Be Wiser Handicap Chase. So they've really shown some imagination with their race tiles, but they're a very welcome sponsor. I hope they have a great day. 14 runners in the 225. Who do you like, G-Rod?
Aquadude. Oh, if David Jennings was
Oh,
here.
no,
here,
don't.
Can you imagine?
No,
I was going to say exactly the same.
no, you're not allowed to tip that. You can't. He dodged it.
I don't know. I think he's worth just another chance. You know, I don't know how many chances you want to give to us, but
quite enough, thanks.
He absolutely flew home at Huntingdon a couple of starters ago in a race that I thought was quite strong. And then last time out, as you say, I mean, on the line, he looked like he was going to come and win it. Just got done on the nod. I'm prepared to give him another chance. So I think this trip might be a little bit on the short side, but it is Newbury. They always get racing pretty early there in the straight. Could turn into a bit of a test.
Place only. Place only, that one. All right, then, Kills.
Yeah, well, I'd say every dog has his day. There's a few of them in here, that's for sure. I mean, there's Eric, who was third at over 3 mile at Doncaster last time. He was on a going day that day and didn't stay, but he's won over course and distance. You've got Omers, who travels like a dream and then finds nothing. And then we've got Alt Dulin, trained by Paul Nichols, who has done very, very little of late, but he's becoming very, very well handicapped. This time last time Sam Twiston Davis rode him, it was at Newton Abbot. He actually gave, I think it was £18 to Omajor Elmers and was only just beaten. And now they're off levels. And I think if he comes back fresh, he's got a good chance in what is really a messy race for me.
Really going for Alt Dulin, eh?
Yeah.
OK, Frank, you got a strong view on this one, mate?
Not overly strong, but Warrior's Tale, I know it wasn't much of a race. He won the last time at Newbury, but he's gone well here before. He was only touched off by Spooky Dookie off £2 lower 18 months ago here too. I just thought he was in a little bit of form, and a lot of these aren't. Like Aquadude has his chance, but yeah, Warrior's Tale for me.
OK. 3 o'clock, 17 runs. And it being a limited handicap, I suppose it's 4 runners. What do you do with the each-way rules, strictly speaking, on limited handicaps, Frank?
We've 17 runners, so I imagine we'll be 4 places here.
Good. Excellent.
I imagine it'll be a quarter 4, yeah.
Glad to hear it. We're going to need it, because it's quite tricky, this one, Graham, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's another one of these. It's the mares race, isn't it? Not my cup of tea, these.
I thought Bill Barber made a really good case for more mares and fillies races over jumps.
No.
He said, look, you've got the 1,000 guineas, the Oaks, all sorts of fillies races right through the season on the flat. So why not for jumps?
It's just different game, isn't it? You know, like these horses are all old. They're more than capable of holding their own at that sort of age against the Geldings.
All right. Well, so why don't you just give the flat fillies an allowance and make them run against the boys?
I don't know, but I don't like them anyway.
All right. Who's going to win it?
There is a good bet in it, I think. Pearl Royale for Nigel Hawke. I'm hoping this is going to be a price because of the trainer. Again, looked like a bit of a professional loser, and then all of a sudden, last time at Southall, put it all together, won by 50 lengths from a horse called Starlight Court, who I think is quite smart, Dan Skelton's. I thought that was well handicapped going into that race, and I think it was a pretty good effort to beat that by 50 lengths. Maybe it didn't stay the second, but I think that's improving Pearl Royale, and it's quite nicely weighted here, getting in off 11 stone 5, a good racing weight.
Righty-ho, Kills, what's your view?
Yeah, the thing about this is it's a novice race, isn't it? So, you know, there could be any number that are miles better than their marks. Nicky Henderson's won it loads of times, so Theatre Territory has to have a bit of respect. But Oliver Sherwood's got a good record in this too, and I think Hither Jack's Lady is improving at the right time. She's bolted up on her last 2 runs. Okay, they weren't great races, but I think she's probably okay off a mark of 127, and one down the bottom could be interesting. Hughie Morrison's sister Sybil, who was actually entered in the Troll House Mares Novice Hurdle at Cheltenham, and she's only rated 117. Even if they were thinking of looking at that race, then she's probably very well handicapped off that sort of mark. But I do quite like Hither Jack's Lady.
Who do you like, Frank?
Yeah, I wouldn't put you off the 2, the Henderson and the Sherwood one, because of their record in the race. But there's one in here. It's kind of bit weird how I'm coming across, but Ruby Yates was second behind Verdana Blue at Hereford last time. Now, she ran a couple of bumpers for Harry Frying, showed nothing, went pointing, showed nothing, then went to Harry Whittington, won well at Southall, the first start over hurdles for him, and then went to Hereford, was second to Verdana Blue. Now, the Verdana Blue was, without doubt, the second best horse that Mayor's Novice race at Cheltenham. She travelled in, she looked like she was going to win, until you look back and you see Let's Dance cruising behind. But she only got run out a second close enough to the line. And if you take that form literally, Ruby Yates must be well in off 120.
What price are you hoping she's going to be there, Frank?
I'm hoping it'd be double figure price. Probably hoping a bit too much, but yeah, I'm hoping someone might rig this and put in a double figure price. I'd definitely be having a bet if it was 10 to 1 or bigger each way.
Okay.
4 places and on. Yeah, I think it's a good chance.
And the final televised race from Newbury, it's the 335. It's the OCSL Juvenile Handicap Hurdle. 11 runners again. Decent field size, Graham, isn't it? Good. We've had a week of pretty small, meagre fields, so this is good. And which of these 11 is going to win?
Yeah, I think this is the toughest race of the lot at Newbury, and I'm going to stick with Nigel Hawke again. Deauville Crystal was an impressive winner a couple of starts ago, caught my eye. I thought it ran well last time out. Wide open race. I'm going to take a chance on that.
Kills?
Yeah, I think the top one, Night of Sin, just won his last two, really game. Staying on really strongly. I think you're going to appreciate the extra distance. You know, he's got form with Timoteo. He beat Dinsdale and Timoteo a couple of starts ago. Dinsdale came out and bolted up the next time. He beat that horse by something like 20 odd lengths, and there's only £11 between them in the ratings. And I think Night of Sin will take some beating. Don Bursey is a really, really tough horse who keeps finding more. I'd stick with the top two.
You're all disagreeing with each other today. Frank, who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, Night of Sin has been progressing nicely, but if you go back to when he won at Bangor, he beat that Timoteo, getting £5, I think, that day. Now, he's obviously improved a great deal since. He's gone in again at Warwick, where that Landon actually ran well, surprisingly well, in the Triumph for a long way. I think he's about 4th or 5th jumping the last, just fades out with a small, but finishes 8th, I think. But Timoteo, he's a bit free, and they put the hood on him this time, and it might just be the making of him. He's actually getting £8 off Night of Sin here now, considering he was giving 5 and was only beating 2 lengths. He'd be the one for me. If the hood works, I think he could run away with this.
Righty-ho. 3 more races at Newbury. Anything you want to point out? Kills shaking his head. G-Rod shaking his head. Anything from you, Frank?
Absolutely no.
OK, now then, Dave Murphy, well done to you. You won a free €25 bet. That's Dave Murphy from Kildare. Hopefully there's plenty of Dave Murphys listening to this. He is the clever Postcast listener who on Monday's show identified Altior as the favourite with Paddy Power for next year's Champion Chase. So he wins the free €25 bet from Paddy Power. Well done, Dave. There will be another chance to win on Monday's show. And if Dave wants some advice on how to invest his free bet at Kelso, that is coming up.
Get instant access to your winnings with Cashcard Plus, Paddy's brand new card, available to use at ATMs, online or in shops. T&Cs apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.co.uk.
OK, so let's look at the 3 televised races at Kelso. 2:05 on ITV4, just the 5 runners. G-Rod, it's a 2-mile hurdle. The going threatens to be heavy. What's going to happen?
Yeah, it's an interesting race. My first look at it, I thought Cup Final might outclass them, but I just saw the distance, 2 miles. This is a 3 miles all over, usually. I don't really get the change of distance. Obviously, change of trainer for Ben Haslam here, first time up, so I'm going to take him on. Runswick Royal, who won what I thought was quite a decent race at Ayr last time out. Isaacstown Lad was 2nd, Shades of Midnight was 3rd. I thought Shades of Midnight was a good bet that day. I thought it was really well handicapped, and I think the first 2 that beat him are going the right way. This one was quite useful over fences a couple of seasons ago, off for a long layoff. Come back, got it right last time out. He's gone up only £2 for that win at Ayr. I thought that was pretty lenient. So Brunswick Royal for me.
Kills?
Yeah, if I was going to have a bet, which I probably will, you know me, it'd be Tio Vivo, who's heading for the hat trick. Just seems to be in the form of her life at the moment, and I think will go well.
Frankie?
Brunswick Royal for me, good course form. I think he's won twice and been ahead 2nd in 3 runs. He's still on the feasible mark of 135. I think he won off 139 over hurdles and was rated 146 as peak over fences. So yeah, he's still only 8, so there's plenty of time for him to get back to his peak mark, and he'd be the one for me.
In the 2:40, I expect Kills to perk up now because we've got some of his old friends in here. Rev de Civola, Nakara Bow at 14. He can't possibly tip Nakara Bow. We've also got the Pride of Scotland See You at Midnight. G-Rod, you first. 8 runners, each way betting. This is a good one, isn't it?
This is a cracking race, isn't it? Well, I just said how good I thought the form of Brunswick Royal Race was. Well, Isaacstown Lad was second and Shades of Midnight was third, and they both run in this one. But I think Shades of Midnight might reverse the form with Isaacstown Lad. I thought Shades of Midnight was given a pretty aggressive ride and only lost second to Isaacstown Lad really late on. Was a bit unlucky to do so. I think with a more measured ride, Shades of Midnight might do the business.
OK, Keels.
Yeah, that's a fascinating race, isn't it? Races a day. Wouldn't it be great if we could see Knockara Bow and Rev de Civil jumping over the last together in first and second? I'm getting fed sweets now, lovely.
Can you give a long answer, please, because he's quite chewy.
Yeah, can't really see it. Rev de Silva's been in terrible form. He has won 5 of his 9 starts on every ground over hurdles, and been second in 2 more. One of the ones he didn't finish in the first 2 was when he was 4th to Knockara Bow in the Cleve hurdle, when Knockara Bow was a 66 to 1 shot. They both got their conditions, and it is a handicap, so theoretically they got a chance. Rev de Silva was rated 160 a year ago. He's running off 142 now.
You're trying to tip him, aren't you?
But he showed nothing. I mean, look, I'll end up backing him because I can't help myself. But when you look at it, See You at Midnight, I don't know what happened to him at Haydock last time, but he was 4 to 1 to beat Q Card in the Betfair Chase off levels, and he's running off 149 in a handicap. He does go well fresh. He absolutely thrashed Bristol to my first time up this season over fences. Obviously coming back for a confidence boost over hurdles, but you know, I mean, he's the proper class act in the race, isn't he, surely?
So it's See You at Midnight. What price will he be hoping for?
I don't know. I've absolutely no idea. I mean, he's one of those that, you know, he could be 3 to 1, he could be 5 to 4. I've got no idea. But I mean, you know, I think in a class angle, he should be faff, clearly.
What price do you think it'd be, Frank?
Off 149, I'd be surprised if he was any bigger than about 9 to 4.
Okay,
2 to 1.
You settle for that, Kills?
Yeah, I think that's probably big enough.
What do you think will happen here, Frankie?
Yeah, well, you can see the angle with See You at Midnight, definitely, and like it's not a race you have great confidence in, but the only good thing is there's 8 in it, so we'll get an each way angle, hopefully. And I thought that Big River ran a decent race at Haydock last time. He's only going to be off, I know he mightn't have potentially the class of the likes of See You at Midnight and Rev de Civil at, but he's only off 132, he'll carry 10.9. The ground will be quite testing, which will suit him. I mean, he looked really good at Ayr December when he won by 11 lengths, didn't even come off the bridle. Now he's up 17 pounds from that, but the last day at Haydock, he travelled quite well. He jumped the last 2 really slowly. If he jumped them well, he may well have won. He was running against a horse called Dad's in Trouble that Brendan Duke has a soft spot for.
Is that the Tim Vaughan thing?
It is, yeah. Yeah. So like Theo's Charm was 3rd in that race, and Norrington Ford called order 5th. It wasn't a bad race, and I just thought he's only 7. Soft ground suit him. He's a good record at Kelso. He's 2 wins and a second from 3 runs. The soft ground would be ideal for him. I think he can go well. I think he could be 6 or 7 to 1 this evening, and I would probably back him each way if you get that price.
Okay, we've got one more TV race. Only 7 runners here. It's the 3:15. It's a 3-mile, 2 furlong handicap chase. Graham, are you confident about this one?
Yeah, the top weight for me, Baywing. It was a very impressive winner last time out in what was quite a hot race. The 3rd Missed Approach came out and ran well at Cheltenham Festival the other day. Now, Baywing has been smashed up in the weights for it, something like 15 odd pounds. I'm not too concerned about that, though, because I think he was really well treated going into that race, and I think he's well up to this sort of grade. I have him down as a graded performer, particularly when the ground's soft or heavy. I mean, he loves it testing Baywing. He's still improving, still lightly racing. It's only his 3rd run over fences. I think he'll be up to it.
Baywing all day for G-Rod. Who for you, Paul Keeling?
Yeah, I think it's between the top 3. I think they've definitely got class edges. Baywing, I mean, that was a grade 2 last time. It was the Toten Novice Chase at Wetherby. I thought that sort of fell apart a little bit, and you could say the same about Selden Min's run here last time, because it beat... he beat Tenor Nivernais and Le Mercury. Le Mercury had won 2nd to Native River. Tenor Nivernais had won by a mile at Ascot, and neither of them performed. But Selden just cantered round, won by 20 lengths. He won by 21 lengths the time he, the previous time he ran at Kelso as well, and he's got another wide margin win to his name at the track. And I think, although he's gone up £10 for that, I don't think that's that harsh. And I think it's just, you know, he just loves the track.
He just cantered
round.
He?
Yeah,
It was incredible, wasn't it?
It was very predictable, to be honest, that those horses would run below form. Because I didn't think Le Mercury had any chance of staying 3 mile on every ground anyway, and Tenor Nivernais was just too
weird
good to be true.
Yeah,
exactly. Too good to be true at Ascot, and he was out quickly.
Okay.
And then you've got Yala Enki, who ran a remarkable race last time at Doncaster, given the amount of energy he must have expended The way he went down to start messing about and whatever. So one of those three will win it. I'll go for Seldom In.
Righty-ho, Frank, any views on this one?
Yeah, I'd agree with Paul from the point of view that I think the winner will come from the top three. Yeah, it's difficult to pick between them, but I was just thinking Giala, Enki, like he's a bit hit and miss, but the softer, the heavier, the better for him. And I just thought if you go back to the Haydock one, even you couldn't see much. If you could repeat that, I think he might be difficult to beat.
OK, chaps, anything else in Britain or Ireland on Saturday that you would like the listeners' attention brought to?
Yeah, there's a good bet at Lingfield.
Is that gone?
I've got to find it again.
Oh, God, here we go.
5:30. That's on my long
That was very
list.
quick compared to last time,
I
wasn't
brought
it?
a list in today of all the horses, so I thought I can't possibly, all the horses that might be worth backing tomorrow.
Well, there's plenty on there, isn't there, G-Rod? Look at that. If you're watching on video, there's all G-Rod's horses. Look, there's got to be 30 on there.
On there is Saint Honor, who 2 starts ago at Kempton was caught out right at the back in a race that was dominated by prominent runners and had absolutely no chance of coming home to win. But it did do some eye-catching late work. Now, the last time out at Lingfield, they stepped it up to 2 miles. It does not stay that trip, and it pulls too hard over the distance because they don't go hard enough in those races early. Now, this time we're back down to 1 mile and 4 furlongs. It's 1 over the course and distance, actually 3 from 7 at Lingfield. This is his race, Saint Honor. I think it'd be a good price as well.
Saint Honor. Kills, anything for you? Where are we? We're at Bangor.
He's going down my list.
We've got Bangor,
look.
Lingfield and Stratford as well. Fancy anything at Strat?
No, I can't say I've had a massive look at.
But you have got a good nap for us coming up, have you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. And Frank, anything for you that isn't your nap that we should be talking about?
Yeah, just Stratford 5:15 around the civil out goes over hurdles after winning a bumper last time. I think that'll probably win. Just in Thurles, there's a couple of races worth watching. The 2:45 Open Eagle returns after a bit of an absence, runs against Sadler's Risk. That looks like it's be an interesting race. And the 3:55 Diamond King, who was disappointment in that Burn Group plate.
He was, wasn't he? Yeah. What
he
happened there?
was.
Was there an excuse? I can't remember.
Did he make a mistake early? He just never was really travelling. But he's running against Great Field. An interesting race. I think if the ground is soft, you'd imagine Great Field will give a bit of a spanking. But
OK, let's switch our attention to Maidan and the Dubai World Cup card. Starts at 11:45, so something a bit different. And some really big name horses from the flat are in action there. Before we start looking at the races, let's get a quick overview on each of your appetite for this meeting. Frank, are you mad on Maidan or meh on Maidan?
Somewhere in the middle. I wouldn't be like getting Cheltenham excited, but I wouldn't be Stratford on a Tuesday.
Are you more excited
either.
about that than Newbury and Kelso?
I would be, yeah.
OK. G-Rod?
Bit of a meh for me, not because I don't think it's top class racing. It's obviously cracking horses running, real Group 1 horses running, but I find it particularly hard to weigh up the chance of a horse that's been running in England to the one that's been running in Brazil to one that's been running in America. Extremely difficult from a punting perspective, and I'm obviously a punter first, so from that point of view, it doesn't appeal to me as a punting medium.
And Kills?
Meh for dirt.
Yeah.
Early pace, rails always led. It's just rubbish, isn't it? I can't stand.
Rubbish?
I cannot stand dirt racing at all. If I lived in America, I'd have to follow a different sport like basketball or something. It certainly would be
That is
horse
rubbish.
racing.
Yeah, basketball.
Exactly.
You hate basketball.
I hate all American sports anyway, but I hate dirt racing with a passion. So, but I'm quite interested in the turf ones on the card, but I wouldn't give you tuppence for dirt.
The thing about basketball, I can't have, is the squeakiness of their shoes. Like the whole thing's played to this like mad squeaking noise. It does my head in. OK, someone who is very excited about the Dubai World Cup card is our man over there in Dubai. It's Lewis Porteous. Let's hear from him.
Out here in Dubai, all the talk's just about one horse, really, Arrogate. He's drawn a great fan presence here. He works actually at 5 a.m. in the morning on the main track. But there's such a crowd come out to see him, and everyone wants a photo of him. He doesn't do that much. It's not fast work. Bob Baffert says the work's been done at home, and he just does a lap of the track, steady away. He looks magnificent though. He's got the longest legs you'll ever see on a horse, and he just gobbles up the ground, and he's got a lovely temperament. Never boils over or anything. And to be honest, the World Cup just looks at his mercy. We're looking at a few horses maybe to get stuck into for the Euros and at bigger prices. I bumped into Richard Farley a couple of times, and he's really sweet on Ribchester. He sees the stepping up from a no problem whatsoever, and they're expecting a real big run. Another trainer bullish is Michael Bell. He only got in midweek, but he saw Big Orange do a fast piece of work on the nearby training track, and he flew around there. Michael Bell says he's better than last year and thinks he can go one place better than when runner-up in the Dubai Gold Cup. And then finally, a local horse that they absolutely love in the Alcos Sprint is called Ertijal. He's a track record over 5 furlongs and 6 furlongs. Jim Crowley rides. Spoke to him on Thursday morning, and he said he has never had a feeling like this from any horse in his career. So Ertijal, the locals think, will beat Limato in the Alcos Sprint.
Thank you very much, Lewis. We'll start with the big race, the Dubai World Cup. The winner gets a cool $4,878,000. And Frank, your market makers have actually deigned to give us some prices for this, haven't they? And I believe they think Arrogate is pretty much home and hosed, don't they?
Yeah, it's 4.8 million is his really. He's 2-7 favourite. Gunrunner 7-1. Moob Tahij is 14-1. Opportunity 16-1. Keen Ice is 20-1, and we're 25-1 bar.
And Frank, as you're the keenest on this, you can go first. Who do you think is going to win this? And if you think it's Arrogate, who's going to follow him home?
Arrogate is home and horse, really, barring some kind of accident. But in the without market, I was talking to a couple of our international traders, and they're saying that like Gunrunner is our fav in the without market at 2-1, but he may well try and take on Arrogate, which may scupper his chance of coming second. So Keen Ice is one that, like, I think we're 6-1. There's as big as 12s out there. He finished ahead of Opportunity in the Breeders' Cup Classic. That one is half its price. I think there's 12s out there for Keen Ice. I think like Opportunity is about a 5-1 shot in the without market. It doesn't really make much sense. Keen Ice, he didn't run his race in this race last year, but he's moved to top Pletcher since. He looks a big price in the without market each way. So yeah, if they go hard, I think he'd have a chance of running on into a place at least.
Okay, very sort of funny sort of Cockney races, isn't it? You've got Arrogate and you've got Opportunity. It's all very odd. Graham, what do you make of it all?
Well, it sounds like Arrogate will win. Obviously, I've seen Arrogate run, and he is virtually unbeatable. And I haven't seen a lot of the rest of them run, to be fair. I've only heard of Keen Ice, and I don't follow it that closely.
So we don't give a toss what you think. Keels?
I did like that little piece from Lewis there. You know. How many times have you gone into a parade ring and looked at horses and thought, oh, that one's got really long legs?
Well, if they've got long legs, then they have.
Got, just.
What, I mean, they can't all have the same length legs, can
you'll
they?
ever see on a horse.
Well, it's possible, isn't
We're
it?
going to have a look at that when we see. Yeah, that's my only interest in race. Can see how long his legs
I must admit, I was
are
quite
when he's
intrigued by
walking around.
that. Would it look like a camel without the hump?
Exactly.
Or a giraffe with a shorter neck?
I mean, I'm not going to waste punters' time by suggesting another bet, but I mean, I don't necessarily buy into this tactics thing. Oh, the only horse that's going to try and win the race, other than this, is this one, so therefore it won't finish second. I don't really buy into that. Like, if it is the second best horse in the race.
So tactical assessment in racing, you've got no interest in that.
No, I've got a tactical assessment in racing, but you always get, when you get the Cheltenham, say this horse will be ridden to win and this horse will be ridden to place. Like, everyone was saying, well, Charbel might not finish second at Altior. It wants because he's going to try and win the race. Now, had he jumped the last, he would have been second, a comfortable second.
I still think he could have won.
I don't think he would, given the speed Altior ran up the hill. But
right.
he was the second best horse in the race by a comfortable margin, and that's how it would have panned
Fair
out.
enough.
You've got to say, there is a bit of the Duvan about it, isn't there? I mean, you do sit there and go, oh, well, Arrogate will just win this easily. I'm sure we all sat there last week and said,
but there's no jumps in this one, is there? What about the 405 then? The Shima Classic. There's some very popular names here. Obviously postponed. Highland Reel, Jack Hobbs. What's the latest betting from Paddy Power, Frank?
Postponed is our 15-8 favourite. Jack Hobbs is 3-1. Highland Reel is 7-2. Seventh Heaven is 17-2. Prize money is 9-1, and we're 16-1 bar.
Do you think we should take on the Jolly here, Frank?
I probably wouldn't, to be honest. I know he was a little bit disappointing the last day, but he didn't get the best ride in the world.
He got a bit. The team tactics did him a bit, didn't they? Didn't the boys in blue hem him in a little bit?
They did a little bit. By the time he got out, I think prize money was gone, wasn't he? But Highland Reel, he was well beaten. Like, I remember last year backing him each way, I think he was an each way bet to nothing, and of course he came fourth. So you're just wondering how primed he's going to be for this, considering he's probably going travelling further throughout the year. Jack Hobbs will definitely be primed for this. Connections, I think he's the danger to the Fav, But I just think it's postponed. I know he disappointed in the Arc, and you could say the last run was disappointing. But if he gets back to the kind of form he was showing last year, like in the international, etc., I think he'll be very difficult to beat. And 15-8 look a big price to me.
Right, you two have got to give your view in an upbeat voice, okay?
Well, it's a turf race.
I'd try my best. Jack Hobbs, I suppose I'd back that. He was quite eye-catching third when he behind Al Mansour.
Is that your best attempt?
I'm trying my best.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not convinced by Postpone. The last 2 runs have been a bit below par, and Highland Real. Well, that race couldn't have panned out any better, could it, at Breeders' Cup last year?
It's like sitting next to Timmy Mallet.
I think Jack Hobbs will win.
Okay, Kills, sound upbeat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't see. I can understand. Look, Highland Real didn't run so well in the race last year, finished 4th. But if he's fit and well, he's got a free lead to himself, hasn't he? And Ryan Moore on board, and if he gets it right and the horse is fit. Now we know there's a situation with Aidan O'Brien's there. He's not always the quickest out of the blocks in the spring, but I mean, if the horse is fit and well, and then he has got the tactical advantage, and we know how dangerous he can be, given how far he won at the Breeders' Cup.
Okay, one more bet from you each on the rest of the card. Frank, you lead the way. You can have 2 if you've got to.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Well, the Godolphin Mile, Timeform boys and the Section boys are saying that if this Sharp Azteca can repeat the kind of form it's showing in America, this is a good thing. I think it's in about 2 to 1. If this race was run in America, it'd be odds on. It's just a matter of whether he travels over okay. I think the draw is okay. He should get away with it. He's up against North America heavy metal and a Japanese horse, Kafuju Taki. Yeah, I'd be going with him in the Godolphin Mile. What's going to be interesting tomorrow is there's some heavy rain forecast about an hour before racing, so that might just have an influence on a couple of the races, particularly the sprint, where the mighty Urtajal runs against Lamato. A lot of people were questioning that this race has moved from 5 furlongs to 6 furlongs, I believe, this year for the first time, and they're worried about Urtajal over the 6th furlong, but he holds a track record over 5 and 6, so I wouldn't be worried on that front. Might just be small, but worried if the ground went soft.
Well, that's no good to Limato, though, is it?
It's no good for Limato. So, I was looking, if it does rain heavily and the ground was riding on the soft side, Jungle Cap would be interesting, probably the solid each way a bit, but there's a horse in there called the Right Man, who's a French horse. He's actually really lightly raised for a 5-year-old. He's only run, I think, 10 times ever. He's open to progression. Soft ground would be fine. He's about 33 to 1. If it rained heavily, he's no 33 to 1 shot. I think he'd get involved. And in the Gold Cup, I'm going to give...
That's the 1250, isn't it?
Yeah, the 1250. Big Orange and Vizirabad were 1st and 2nd last year. Big Orange is actually, is it £4 or £5 better off for a neck beaten last year? So the fact that Vizirabad 7 to 4 and Big Orange is 5 to 1 doesn't make a whole pile of sense to me. But Heartbreak City ran an absolute belter in the Melbourne Cup from a terrible draw. He's very unlucky. Now, he didn't run much of a race, really, at Leopardstown in that Coral Hurdle, but you'd forgive him that easily enough. And he's versatile enough on ground. He won almost to the day last year at Cork on heavy ground. Now, it was only a handicap and he was running off 88. But Joe Morero is back over to take the ride. I think might be significant enough, and I'd give him an each way shot at about 13 to 2.
Christ, that was David Jennings-esque that summary, wasn't it? Blimey,
O'Reilly. Oh, and can I give one more, please?
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah.
The 125, the UAE Derby. This is a bit of a weird one. This horse called Fawry, I think that's how you pronounce it, Fawree. He's a bit of a Lebake in that he plays up at the start and he might be done after a furlong and he might miss the break and not have any interest. He unseated his rider the last time, and on his first run he missed the break and was way behind and ran on to finish 2nd. But in between those 2 runs,
hurry up, I've got a bloody meeting soon.
He broke fine and he absolutely hammered a horse called B Jersey, who the favourite Thunder Snow beat 5 lengths as well. Thunder Snow's 9 to 4, Fawry's 8 to 1. It's one of those ones, if you're a dirty shot player, you can just wait at the counter, see if he breaks well and run up with your bet. 8 to 1 is massive if he breaks with the rest of them.
Blimey, O'Reilly, a Paddy Power employee suggesting
Frank,
that.
I cannot believe you're worried about how to pronounce that. I bet you know how to pronounce all those Gaelic names, don't you?
Oh, Gaelic is fine. I was used to be fluent. I'm not so much anymore, but it's those French and French races.
He is Irish and not French, so there is a reason why he's better at pronouncing Gaelic.
That's not French, yours anyway. Fawree.
I bet that is French. Actually, I bet it isn't. Anyway, look,
right,
Graham, was it you who said you fancy loads?
No, me.
Oh, you. Right, Kills.
Yeah.
Right, Graham, give us your one.
Yeah.
Or ones very quickly.
I'll give you two quick ones.
Go on, then.
125, Fly at Dawn. I think will be a good price.
Okay.
Ran well at Newmarket.
We'll take your word for it.
Ran well at Newmarket last season, went 5th, and has gone forward since moving to Dubai this season. And in the 330, Mutakayef, I'm convinced that William Haggis is going to make a proper Group 1 horse out of this season. So that's Mutakayef in the Dubai Turf.
Okay, Kills.
Well, yeah, only
Step on it.
Only the surf race is right. The Dubai Gold Cup, there's always one result at these meetings that is completely unfathomable, and I'm going to try and go for it with Rembrandt van Rijn, who's about 50 to 1. He keeps flying home over a mile and a half. If he gets 2 mile, I think there'll be a fair old pace in this. And I think he can get in the frame at a massive price.
Okay.
We go on to what's that now? That's dirt. That's rubbish. Right, the Alcor Speed. Yeah, if the ground isn't soft, I would definitely back Lamato every day of the week. I think he's a really, really good sprinter on fast ground. And yeah, we know how good Urgell is, but I think he's more of a 5 furlong horse than a 6 furlong horse. So that would be it. That's dirt rubbish. Right. The Dubai Turf. Yeah, quite interesting. Decorated Night just keeps on improving for Roger Charlton and. Has done well over there this year as well. I think he's a double-figure price, and I think he's catching them up. I mean, Ribchester is the one to beat. Don't think he gets a stiff mile, so I would be really worried about him over a mile and 1.
Okay.
And that's your lot.
Okay, you know what will happen, G-Rod, don't you, right? We'll come in on Monday and we'll hear him say, oh, yeah, I did my bollocks on the grass races, but got out of it on all the dirt runs, won't we?
Yeah,
That's what Kills decide.
Yeah.
Right, nap time.
This will not be beaten.
Before we do the naps, Frank, you've got some really weird, obscure specials, haven't you? Obviously, one of your compilers has got a Terry Spargo obsession, Terry Spargo being the commentator out in Dubai, and you've got one of those things about what he's going to say. And obviously, if Terry Spargo knows about this, he can absolutely clean up. But,
he can. I think it's his last day commentating.
Is it?
I think as well. Yeah, I think that might be why we're doing the specials. But they're racing the Dubai World Cup is a 1 to 10 shot.
And you've obviously he's got to pronounce that absolutely clearly, hasn't he? They're racing
They're racing the Dubai World Cup. I think that's fair enough. I think that's the easiest 10% you'll ever make.
Right.
Shane Ryan with the button is a 1 to 5 shot. All in the gates closes. The call is a 1 to 3 shot. Gates fly 4 to 6. Goes looking for the leads and also 4 to 6. Scraping the plastic is evens. Flattened for the run to the judge is evens. Mike Smith says go 11 to 8. Has gone into overdrive 9 to 4. The cap catcher 7 to 2 and put the Q in the rack. It's a 6 to 1 outsider of all those.
What does that mean? Put the queue in the rack? Does that
I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what it's like. If you've won the
It's
game,
all over, is it?
you put your queue in the rack.
done,
Yeah,
right.
it's all done. Right, nap time. G-Rod, go first.
Saint Honor at Lingfield, is it 5:30?
Well, you tell us.
I have to find the list.
5:30 Lingfield it is. Sant Honor. Paul Keeley.
Yeah, opening race at Newbury, 150, shot of vodka, get the money in the bank early on and then fritter it away all afternoon.
Okay, and Frank Hickey.
Newbury 335. Hedger to work the trick for Timoteo.
Okay, we'll look at Ireland next.
Head into one of Paddy Power's retail shops where you can watch all live UK and Ireland racing every day. Or head over to Ladbrokes, Coral and Betfred where you can watch Homes Under the Hammer.
Welcome back, Bruce Millington, Graham Rodway, Paul Keeley and Paddy Powers. Frank Hickey are looking ahead to Sunday, where flat fans will be delighted to see horses galloping along on verdant green turf without any obstacles. The Irish flat season starts, and we've got 2 decent races. We've got a Group 3 at 4:10, and we've got the Toe Irish Lincolnshire at 4:40. There's also racing at Downpatrick, Hereford and Wincanton. So before we hand over to Frank, who I think is probably best prepared for this, we will get a quick horse from each of the boys on Sunday. Graham Rodway, who are you going for?
3:10, Tat Lisu. 3:10 at Nace, Tat Lisu. Has been running some cracking races on the all-weather. Beat Doc Sportello, who's quite a smart type, at Newcastle 3 starts ago. That race has worked out really well. Tat Lisu's been in cracking form since, but I think he's better horse on turf than he is on the all-weather. So the switch to the green grass will definitely suit.
Jolly good. Keels?
Oh, I'll back Marek in that because it's bottomless ground, but I don't know what sort of form he's in. My ones of interest are we've got this. We got the Group Group 3 Park Express Stakes somehow is way clear on form. But again, we don't know with Aidan O'Brien how ready they are, and he has so many short price horses beaten at the start of the season. Sabo's had a run. Can't say she ran particularly well in Italy, but this is her ground, and I think she will go well. And in the 440, Richard Fahey's been trying to win this Irish Lincoln for several years now. He always brings a couple over. Took Spring Offensive and Withensea over last year. Neither of them ran that well. But Spring Offensive won next time out back in Britain and improved with every run pretty much afterwards. And I think he goes there with a decent chance. He's a nice big double figure price, about 16s.
Is that right, Frank? 16 Spring Offensive kills his fancy?
16 to 1. I'll give you a show of betting there if you want.
I think you're going to give me 20s.
Darabad is 4 to 1. Aussie Valentine's, a Springer in the market's 11 to 2. Sea Wolf 7 to 1. Gentle J 10 to 1. Brendan Bracken, Marshall Jennings, Stenographer 12 to 1. One Night I Dreamed is 14s, along with Texas Rock, Canary Row, and it's 16 to 1 Spring Offensive and Red Avenger and 20s Bar.
Have you sussed this one, Frank?
Oh, jeez, it's very difficult. Aussie Valentine's been the one for money. I think we were 12 to 1. We put this race up first on was it Tuesday, but he's into 11 to 2. But there's one I thought was a little bit interesting for Pat Prendergast, Canary Row. He was beaten at Naas last year off 87 by Marshall Mars, just beaten ahead. He's back on the mark of 87 again here. He also won his reappearance last year. So no problem with ground. Soft, heavy, good, it all comes the same to him. I think the start of the year is the time to catch him, and I could see him going really well at a decent enough price. I think it's about 14 to 1.
Anything else on the card that you think we should be backing?
I agree with Paul. I think Cabo, or however you pronounce it, would probably run her race. If somehow underperforms, she's the one I'd likely to take the race. She could even be an each way price. She could be 4 or 5 to 1. You wouldn't know. But there's one interesting one. It's hard to be overly confident, but Fozzie Stack has taken over the runners there from his dad. And their horse, Great Minds, he only ran once last year in Cork in a listed race. He went off 5 to 4 and he disappointed. Wasn't seen for the rest of the season. But if you go back to the season before that, he was quite good on soft ground. He won a Cork, a listed race. And he won at Naas in another listed race. He won quite well. And he's running off 102 here. He's probably like at his best 106, 107 horse, but they have the headgear on for the first time. I think he's wearing cheek pieces. Chris Hayes rides. Now he's going to be giving a lot away to some of the horses down the bottom, but I think Naas suits him and soft ground suits him, and he could well be a double figure price, and I'd be giving him a squeak each way.
That's Great Minds in the 310. Weekend plans, G-Rod, what you got?
I might go pointing tomorrow.
Oh yeah, where?
Paul's Heath.
Where's that?
It's up near Newmarket, not far away. Yeah, I was at Point last week. High Easter. Yeah, the cracking day there, 2 winners.
Is that the horse or the course? High Easter.
Yeah, the course. Yeah,
right.
yeah, up in Essex, and
Do you take the kids?
Yeah.
They love it.
Great day out. Yeah, they love seeing them jump.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Excellent. Do they still bet to quite high percentages? Quite difficult to
yeah.
beat the book there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But a winner's a winner.
Okie dokes. Keels, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to sit in front of the computer and punt all day tomorrow and try and win as much money as possible, because the next day I'm going to go and buy a motor.
Oh, you got to buy a car.
Yeah,
What do you like at that? Do you know what you're doing?
I know absolutely bugger all about cars. I hate cars with a passion and anything to do with them.
How are you going to do this then?
Only about 3 or 4 months ago, I had to take the car into Halfords to buy a headlight, right? Because it had gone out, and the bloke, I said, "Can you fit it for me?" Because I don't know what I'm doing. And he came out and he said, "Can you flip the bonnet?" And I said, "I don't know how."
I'm not laughing too loudly there because I kind of get that.
Absolutely. She just looked at me like I was
So what are you going to do? You're going to go to one of those massive car supermarket places?
Yeah, I bought my last car from Car Giant and nothing went wrong with it in 5 years. So I'll be up there Sunday morning test driving a couple.
What do you fancy? What are you after?
Well, I get a 7-seater and then people carry
Well,
it.
the kids are grown up now. You don't need that. You can get something a bit
sporty.
sportier.
You have to pick up everything. Well, the chances of me ever getting a sports car is more chance of me developing a fashion sense. So none whatsoever. But no, it'd be nice big motor.
Okay, and is it just betting or betting and drinking tomorrow?
No, it won't be any drinking.
No, you're going to sit at home and do it properly, yeah?
Yeah.
What price are you to win? Because it's quite difficult, those big fields.
No, I'd have to be odds against it, I thought.
Oh, blimey. Frank, what about you? Working both days?
No, I'm off Sunday, so working tomorrow. Watch a bit of Dubai at work.
Is it Mother's Day in Ireland as well on Sunday? It's Mother's Day over here.
It is on Sunday, yeah. It's Mother's Day, all right. Probably have to send a card or something. Yeah.
You won't bosh down to the petrol station, maybe get her a plant or.
Well, she lives in Cork and I'm up in near Dublin, so it's
That's
a bit of
awkward,
a,
isn't
I'll
it?
see her. Well, it probably won't be for about a month, but.
And the
take
lovely
everyone
Jill,
along.
who's now obviously Jill Hickey after your recent marriage, did you fess up completely to all the Cheltenham losses, or did you just sort of say, "Oh no, it wasn't great"?
Oh no, she knew by my face.
Oh, did
Coming
she?
home every evening, it was like Tuesday, how'd you get on? Oh, not great, not great. Wednesday, how'd you get on? Yeah, not great, not great. Friday, she just came in, not great again, huh?
Oh,
Now
never mind.
we kind of were holding hope for Friday because I obviously had I had Charlie Parks and Native River left in a bit of a multi for massive money, so I was hoping that might come true and save the week. And but unfortunately, yeah, that was stink as well. So yeah, it was a bad old week, and she knew straight away.
Never mind. There's always this weekend, isn't there? Good luck, folks. Hope you get a few quid. Good luck. Thank you very much indeed for watching or listening. Hope the boys have managed to give you a few words of wisdom and a few winners. Join us on Monday for a weekend review and another chance to win a £25 or €25 free bet from Paddy Power.
Check out Paddy Power's new and exclusive Cash Card Plus. Available to use online, at ATMs, or even down the local. Paddy Power, you beauty.